Good morning.
Welcome to the center.
Welcome to the center.
Good morning.
And welcome to the center.
Thank you. It's a blessing to
You'll
be
know when
here
I start
today.
talking.
It's such a lovely place to be. We're looking forward to this inspirational message from Reverend Wanda this morning. Grateful.
She's terrific. Come visit us.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Please get comfortable in your seats. And if it is comfortable for you, please lower your eyes or close your eyes. And take that nice deep breath in, this beautiful, fresh new day. And another deep breath, and just relax. And open your heart and your mind, knowing today's talk is about God and the universe. There is consciousness, power, love, and joy. I call this God. It is the I am. God is all there is, and all is connected to this amazing universal intelligence. I am the reflection of God in all that I do every day. My experience is the action of God on earth. Quietly in your mind, repeat after me. Today, I declare an abundance of all the good that I visualize in my life. I know that I am an extraordinary person. I create exactly what I choose in my life. I am harmony. I am love. I am financially secure. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I know all that I picture is true for me. My thinking and belief make it so. So knowing this, I relax and create a healthy future filled with all the love, joy, and compassion. I embrace this life in an amazing universe, and I am so very grateful for all of it. I am grateful for the security my thoughts bring to me, with letting go and letting God. And the law of the universe makes it so, right here and right now. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and namaste.
Good morning. We have a beautiful morning prayer written by Karen Drucker. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free. As I continue walking in this mystery. You sound great. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day, and I am kinder every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day. Know that you are the face of God. You are the face of God. Let me hear you. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart always. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God.
If it's comfortable for you, please close your eyes. And just for a moment, allow me to speak in the first person for you. A sacred space has been created here this morning. And in this space, I recognize God as divine guidance and infinite wisdom. This divine presence it's everywhere. It's right here, within me. It is all that I really am. And this is not just true for me, it's true for each and every person here in this sanctuary, because God resides within everyone. In the stillness, I listen for divine guidance, and then I know what is mine to do. And as I listen to the wisdom of Spirit, I am at peace. And so I can then focus on the highest vision for my life. And then I move into celebration as all my hopes and dreams and more than I could possibly imagine is manifested into my reality. I affirm that each of us is clear, directed, wise, and loving. God is, and I am. I know the message that's delivered by Reverend Wanda this morning is just perfect. And everything that needs to be said is said, and everything that needs to be heard is heard. Today is a perfect day. So I just simply say, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, God. I'm grateful for our ministers who inspire us and challenge us to recognize our own magnificence. Grateful for our ministry of prayer team. They are the healing arms of this center. For our volunteers, for our beloved Patty and Dave, for our sound crew. Grateful for Karen, who's come to sing for us today. and Julius. I can let go and let God now. I can breathe easy as I release my word into the law, knowing that this is a law that always, always says yes, and we all say, and so it is.
Thank you, Juanita. Thank you, Gina, for your beautiful prayers this morning. I am centered, and I am ready to party. Did you hear Dave? You are? Yeah, you know why? Because I love you! You got a birthday now! Yeah, we got a few! But today it's Karen's birthday, right? Come on, you guys know this. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody, everybody, get up on your feet. Put your hand into it. See the light. Everybody, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. Come on, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let's do it again, right? Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody, we are. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. No words, one big family. Hey, hey, you guys are great. Hey, yeah, doesn't matter. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Just let's do it. Let us bring on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 here we go. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. Yeah. See the light. Woo. Everybody, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. What? One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Woo, come on, hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Woo, hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo. Everybody, get up on your feet. You sound great. See the light. Everybody, everybody, get up on your feet. Well, I am. See the light. Everybody, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. What? One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Sing it. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Well, while you're up on your feet, if it's comfortable for you, if you would say with me, God bless America and the rest of the world, and just turn to a neighbor and say good morning.
see the light. Everybody you meet, let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family.
Good morning, I'm Reverend Cheryl Bell, co-senior minister here along with my sister Reverend Stacey Hilton, Dave and Patty. You know, today is like the 20th of, oh my God, it's only 9 more weeks of Christmas. I know, Stacey doesn't want me to tell you that, but I feel that I should tell you. I'm sorry. So, you know, today's the 20th. We have a special guest singer here today, and she's singing on her birthday. And Patty, of course, wants to sing happy birthday to Miss Karen.
We so want to sing. We all want to sing.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. We love you, Karen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dearest Karen Jones, if you don't mind. Happy birthday to you.
You know, we know that today is Karen's birthday, but do you all know that Patty's birthday is in like 4 days, the 24th?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Patty. Happy birthday to you.
It's great to get older.
And God, we have so many October birthdays. I thought we had a lot of September birthdays, but it's also Judy Rodella's birthday. When is it? The 23rd. Oh, this is a busy week. This is a busy week. Happy birthday, and Miss Kathy, and I think we should probably blow out the candles, Karen. What do you think? And Patty, don't spit, just blow.
No spinning.
Sisters and song, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. So there'll be cake after if you care to join us. Thank you, Lois and Kathy, for setting that up. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good morning. It's that time of the year again. It's that time of the year when we get to give back. We've been with Foster Kinship for many years now. This is our 8th year. And yeah, it's wonderful. I'm really, really happy today to introduce Antisha, who is she has worked with Foster Kinship for the last 4 years. So she knows exactly how valuable and how wonderful what we do is, and how much it's needed. Because this year, because one church retired of what they were doing, they lost quite a few boxes that they've had in the past. So it's important for all of us, as much as we can, if you can, contribute this year, because we need you. So let me introduce Antisha, and thank you so much for coming. Allie was going to be here, but she's sick. Yeah, all right.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Antisha. I'm from Foster Kinship. Our director, Allison Collier, knows she couldn't be here today because she is sick, so I told her to go ahead and rest today, and I would come and handle it. So I would first like to thank you all for donating with us for the last 8 years. I have been with Foster Kinship for the last 4 years, and I absolutely love what I do. And the reason why is because I grew up in kinship care, so it means something to my heart. When I was 9 years old, me and my 3 siblings ended up with my maternal grandparents, and we stayed with them. But unfortunately, our placement was disrupted when I was 16 years old and my younger sister was 15, and I ended up in the foster care system. When I ended up in the foster care system, I ended up aging out at 18, and my family is very small. We lost our brother was killed, And so now it's just me and my two sisters. Both my grandparents have recently passed away. So family means everything to me. To me, it's about quality, not quantity, right? Having a great family to be there and be connected. And my sisters mean the world. And that's why when my younger sister ended up falling in the same cycle as my parents did, her kids ended up in foster care, and I became a placement for her 4 children, as well as having 3 children of my own. So I had about 7 children I had 7 children, all 7 and under. And so there were 7, 6, 5, 4, 2 3-year-olds, and a 1-year-old. I did that for about a year and a half, and I remember reaching out to the community partners to kind of help me and support me. Even though my family has been small, Thanksgiving is something that means it's my favorite holiday. And I really love Thanksgiving because it's not about gifts, it's not about anything except for just being together and having that family meal. And so that's something that we want to do at Foster Kinship, is just to be able to provide that good family meal at Thanksgiving time for the caregivers who have, stepped up and took in their relatives. And sometimes they can't afford stuff such as a meal that we take for granted every day sometimes. And so I really hope all of you choose to donate. We have boxes in the back, as well as a list of what we usually put in the boxes. And our organization does the boxes that have all the stuffings and dressings that the families can make, as well as a gift card so they can purchase a turkey.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Foster Kinship, personal story, Foster Kinship was a great help to me when I got custody of my 15-year-old niece, who will be 18 next month. And I called Allie, and I was put together with Sandy, and she helped me with everything that I needed, that I didn't even know I needed to do. Paperwork upon paperwork upon paperwork, and other support groups that could help me with a 15-year-old. And when you said 7, under 7, I thought I was gonna pass out. Because thinking about just a 15-year-old, I'm like, what do I gotta do? Because I have no children of my own, so thinking about a 15-year-old, I'm like, what am I gonna do with her? And I'm just knowing that this is an awesome organization. I love that we've supported them from the beginning, and they support me and anybody else who needs supporting. I'm glad that I had somewhere to go to get help. I'll get something in the mail from state of Nevada. I have no idea what it is and what I'm supposed to do with it. I go straight, I call Sandy, I email her, can I come see you? Because I have no idea what this is. So just so you know, this is a worthwhile cause, and Thanksgiving is, I think that is Stacy's favorite holiday. And a lot of our favorite holiday. I like Christmas because my birthday is the 19th. So. Anyway, 6 days before Christmas, and I came home on Christmas Day, so I was everybody's Christmas present, just so you know. But anyway, so I'm just so glad that, and I still am. Oh, thank you.
I agree.
You agree? Okay, so just thank you for being here and celebrating with us, because we love you all.
Today we're talking about spirituality in action, unity, and our challenge and our invitation is to cherish the family, cherish the human family. Now, some of you are going to say, people, I don't really like people, but I love my dogs, my cat, my money. They don't really tell me that, but I know that that's up on the list. Cherish the human family. Now, the Virtues Project talks about many spiritual gifts that each of us has, right here and right now. You don't have to get it. because you are it. It is part of you. So the spiritual gift of unity, let me tell you what the Virtues Project says about that. Unity brings strength. When we practice unity, we allow, and I always say invite, because it's a choice. And in my few minutes today, it's an invitation to choose what I am saying. It doesn't matter perhaps what Ernest Holmes says or what Reverend Wanda says. It does matter what they say. I understand that. I understand it. But it's an invitation. And so when you choose unity, you're choosing to feel connected to everything and everyone. Now, in the Sermon by the Sea, oh, and by the way, I have this book. I marked the book, what I was going to read, and then, of course, I promptly left it at home. So this is Reverend Stacy's book, and the pages are not marked according to what my remarks are, but this is where you get it. I was also going to show the one I've been using for so long, so many years. It was written, I think it was published around 1927. The white pages are now yellow. There are marks everywhere, and the cover is torn. So I finally treated myself to an updated book, and I'm really glad I did because it has one of my favorites, Sermon by the Sea. Are you familiar with Sermon by the Sea? And in this one. Now, Science of Mind has been teaching spirituality for over 100 years. Isn't that amazing? So for this man, Ernest Holmes, to have these ideas 100 years ago, to me, is amazing. Now, this Sermon by the Sea was his. I used to go to Silmar. How many have gone to the Silmar conferences? Okay. I used to go every year for 10 years. And each year, my friend and I would write out everything we wanted and put it in the ministry of prayer. And then, having demonstrated specifically that, and more than that, we would go back the next year for 10 years. And the last year we went, it was after my friend had put a prayer request in, and you know, we weren't really practitioners early on, and we didn't know you only need a few words. Because the problem's going to leave you, so you don't really have to do a big editorial on the problem. Because it really, the practitioners will listen to you, trust me. But they don't hold on to that because that's leaving. That's their job. That's their work. All right, so at Silmar was in Monterey Bay. Several people have been there. And this was August 15th. 1959. Now this, of course, was not one of the Silmars that I drove to, just so you know. But Ernest Holmes was asked, what do you think God is? And Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of religious science, said, I think God is that tree. And then he saw a squirrel going up that tree. And he says, and I think God is that squirrel. So what he's saying is God is all in all, in, through, and around all things, and connected. We used to teach the children in junior church, there is no spot where God is not. All right. Does anybody believe that? Yes. Okay, you say you do. And I want you to. Because we're all in it together. That's what unity really is about. Now, from the Virtues Project again, unity brings harmony. It brings peace. It can resolve conflict. by finding common ground. So maybe at Thanksgiving, the only common ground you're going to get is that everybody's going to eat turkey. But some will want the white meat, some will want the dark meat, is that right? And thus the separation begins. But you can choose unity. You can choose peace. And instead of being a warrior, you can be a peacemaker. Will you agree? Yes. Say, I am a peacemaker.
A peacemaker.
I'm planting new seeds.
I'm planting new seeds.
Okay, so we'll get a report later after Thanksgiving and see how it went. Today's topic is inviting us to cherish our human family. So as a verb, to cherish means to protect and care for someone lovingly, kindly, beyond measure, to adore from the place within your heart. That is what cherish means. So some of you are going to say, well, Reverend Wanda, if you knew my blankety blank family, I don't think I can get there by Thanksgiving, sure. Reverend Wanda, that family is hard to stomach. It's impossible to cherish them. Now, while it may appear that some biological families are not spiritual, as Karen mentioned today, the spiritual family may share no biology, heredity with you. Would you agree? So that's a place to start. That's a place to practice our skills, to learn new behaviors in a safe place. So we're talking about the human family. The human family. So God in the universe, as I said, is everywhere present all the time, in, through, and around all things. But as I was thinking on this and reading the material, I thought, you know what? The human family, metaphysically, looks like the Trinity to me. Really, Reverend Wanda? Yes. So God, okay, so here we have, what do we have here? Behind me. What? Louder. The teaching symbol. So God as Spirit is creator and moves through our families and our families of affairs, human affairs. Likened to, in my mind, the story of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Think about it. Because this is a thinking, philosophy. God as creator, which is like the Father, the thing itself. The feminine aspect of God, Mother God, is a creative medium that gives birth to the sons of God, which are us, the creation, the result, including your families. You see? Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So when we cherish our human families, we're recognizing the Trinity, and we're recognizing and unifying with Spirit in action. That's what's happening. So when you go for Thanksgiving, just say, I'm here for Spirit in action. I don't know what you're serving, but I'm here to cherish you in the name of God. And yet, some are saying, I have worked so hard for my uniqueness and specialness and my individuality. I tattooed it on this arm and this leg, and I did all these things to be different, to stand out. I want you to be rest assured. Spiritual unity doesn't diminish you in any way. It doesn't take away from you the power to assert, to celebrate your mental and physical freedom. I read a few pages into the saints of mine, I'm thinking in the 70s perhaps. And this idea was that freedom is the birthright of every living soul. I was hooked. I said, well, I'm in. I'm in. Because that's what I wasn't feeling at the time. I wasn't feeling free. I wasn't feeling as though I had choices. I was feeling as though I was locked in to a picture of my life that wasn't working for me at that time. So don't worry about your freedom, your individuality, and your uniqueness. I think you know that better than what I'm talking about here today. The unity and the oneness. But when we focus on what we think, and I say what we think because that, in my view, is error thinking. You're not separate. That's a myth you told yourself. And it can be a lonely place. Can't it? You're not sure? Okay. Spiritual unity, which we all have, whether we're aware of it or not, whether we're using it or not, whether we're celebrating it or not, builds community. Now, and community builds communion with our higher selves. That's why it's important. And we teach tools, affirmative prayer, meditation, absolutely, to help us remember who we are and what we really represent. So this individualized creative mind is. Now, if we choose to follow the crowd and subconsciously come to rely on what somebody else says like is like, maybe it's on TV or Facebook, who knows? Whatever is getting your time and your attention, your talents and money, and wherever you're putting your power, that's where your energy is flowing. And so when you go to unity and you cherish yourself and others, you are taking your power, where you then have dominion over everything that's going on. And you can walk in the world from a place of love and spiritual insight and mastery. Now, I don't know about you, but I heard some folks talking about right versus left. Have you heard that? Like all day, all night long. If there was something I wanted all day, all night long, that would not be it. And so here's the message. In this moment, you can choose between right and left towards right and wrong. What is right for you? What is wrong for you? That is the question. That's your question and that's your challenge that I'm giving you today. How do you know? When you do what is right for you, you are uplifted. You are attractive. People come to you at the Walmart and start pouring out their soul. I'm a witness. we do have some resources, and I'm going to list them that may be of assistance, that may be helpful in your spiritual journey. Now, the Judeo-Christian background has what? The Ten Commandments. I looked at Reverend Annika, she's teaching us all about these things. And then Emmett Fox wrote a book on the Ten Commandments. So I pulled out, I'm going to read them all, but I pulled out Matthew, Mark, and 1 John. So if you want to know where those are, I can tell you all about that soon. But the point is, I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Not the Walmart God, not the TV God. See? Not the political pundit God. But God wasn't the only one. Of equal importance is what we're talking about today. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Is that a tall order or an easy order? Let's get this out of here. All right, so what happened here was one day I was hungry and I wanted chicken tacos and I wanted to go to Roberto's. And so I did. And I walked in and it was clean, clear, nobody there but me and the people that were cooking the food. I came out and slept a big slip on water and a raw carrot that was on the floor that I did not see. Immediately, 4 people that hadn't been there came to my rescue. Offered me their telephone numbers. Counseled me about finding out if I'm really injured. Because sometimes people that take that fall, I guess it was horrific. I'm glad I was wearing a pantsuit. And who is my neighbor? Who is the stranger? One of the things that Ernest Holmes says in this edition, he said it in the other edition too. To welcome the stranger. I thought I was all alone. I was so shocked I didn't really right away understand what happened. And one young woman lifted me up. Young, thin woman. I didn't know how I was going to get up from that floor. She saw me, the stranger, as her neighbor. The 3 other people stayed. And they said, well, take our phone numbers. I couldn't remember how to get their phone numbers. Do I have a pen? They said, hand me your phone. They typed their phone numbers into my phone so I could call them if I needed them. Never saw those people before in my life. Now, one couple was rather interesting because they actually used to work and live in Riverside County, which is close to where I used to live. So technically, they were my neighbors and I never ever saw them before until I needed them. And when I could get myself together, I rested, all of that, and then I texted the ones that had given me their numbers to thank them. They were like my guardian angels who went before me to prepare the place for me. And they were so loving and kind. And one woman texted back, and she said, she admitted this, when I got into my car, I prayed for you. I prayed that you would not have pain, that you would be all right. Well, somebody say, wow. Wow. I called the man was a wow for me. And the same thing from the other individual, the other couple. And we wrote back and forth. If you need anything, let us know. I didn't know the last name. We'll be there for you. And this went on for 2 weeks. So that's a lesson that they didn't need. Who is their neighbor? Do you welcome the stranger? If someone holds up the line or falls down, you just step over them? Steal their purse? Would you get out of my way? I'm trying to get to the ladies' room. You're blocking my way. So that's something to say. Now, so we have the Bible, if we want to use that. The parable of the Good Samaritan sort of fits the situation. The one that is different, the one that is strange, the one you don't know, etc. And if you don't know him, you certainly don't trust him. Except when you do. Except when you know that you are about the Father's business right where you are. Just as you are. And it's God meeting God. It's a love fest. Now, Ernest Holmes, in What We Believe, which is very long, but it's also in this newest version. But one of the things that Ernest Holmes says is, we believe in the unity of all life, that the highest most God and the innermost God is one God. One God. So maybe you don't feel connected, maybe you don't feel that unity. But if you even use that as a mantra, it might help, it might be helpful. Sermon by the Sea. Ernest says, find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of his own soul. I will have found another Savior, another Jesus, another exalted human being. Find me one person who no longer has fear of the universe or of God or man or anything else, and you will have brought to me someone in whose presence we may sit, and fear shall vanish as clouds before sunlight. Find me one person who has redeemed his own soul, and he shall become my Redeemer. So we have the readings, the resources, all of that. To help us, spiritual beings having a human experience, find and express liberty and our divinity under law. I'm going to close with this poem. And I heard it years ago at a seminar and recently found it in a class that we were taking here. It's called Outwitted. It says he, but I'm just going to, for a change, I'm going to say she. She drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. I drew a circle that let her in. Draw your circle. Let love in. And the holidays are coming and you get to practice. Thanks for being here today. Amen.
In the name of love.
Alright, so basically, we started off by reading a couple books. One of them was I Am Peace, basically about this kid who's with peace and in the entire world, just teaching how to love, I guess.
Another book that we read was Say Something. It was about how if you see someone being bullied, you can try and stand up to the bully or pull the kid who's being bullied away. Or if you think of something, like let's say you were mad or sad or something, you can try and express it by the way that you dress, the way that you act, or just the way that you are as a person. And then you can try and basically express the way that you feel. And then whenever we were reading these books, we always thought of songs. So we kind of like remembered what we were learning about whenever we were thinking of the songs.
And they have to do it with. No, you don't.
Well, you were Miss Bass. Of course you thought of something.
Good morning. So we also talked about like with Say Something. We kind of had this little time where we all just talked about stuff that we did. And so I haven't met McKenna yet, and so it was really nice to talk to her a bit. And we both found out that we're both theater kids, so it was really cool to just talk about that. Also, we also painted rocks, but those are drying. We also have a basket of affirmations that we would like to give to you all. So, yeah.
You guys have anything?
No. Not really, but.
My name is Atticus, and we've been talking about who has different hair colors. We don't get jealous, and God loves us all.
We're starting a project here, and Atticus was the first one, and God is in the middle, and everybody else's name will go back up. And Atticus talked about himself, and that he had blue eyes, and he likes to smile, and he likes math, and he's in 2nd grade. He has 3 dogs, and he likes lizards and snakes. Everybody who comes in will be making an array for every single person who comes into our room with God as the middle. He has one more thing to read.
God is all there is to see. God is here inside of me. Smiles and hugs, loves and fun. All good things for everyone. Now,
keep going. You're okay.
Keep going. They don't have any mics, so you're good.
Yeah.
now we give our thanks and then goodbye. So it is amen. Amen.
Okay. All right. We had a class starting this week, Thomas Troard, and it's usually the 2nd year students that have taken foundations. Sharon is interested. If you're interested in joining her, please let us know. Today there is a sign-up sheet at the happiness table. This Saturday is our picnic. Bring a dish, bring a pumpkin to carve. I think we had some pumpkin carving going on last year. We have a few sponsors, the McCoy sisters. I call them the McCoy sisters, even though they're mother and daughter. Their birthday's the same day. I call them the McCoy sisters. Ardelia contributed as a sponsor. I had one more sponsor, Julie. Thank you, Julie. All right, so join us this Saturday. We're at Mountain Crest. The directions are on the table, and we're in the center near the restrooms. So Bring the kids, bring a pumpkin. It'll be a lot of fun. What else? We have
Somebody has a gift underneath their chair.
Yes, and Daniel Nahmont will be here the 10th. And somebody has some tickets under their chair. Don't know who it is, because I didn't place it there. I let Stacy do it this time, because, all right, Chris, awesome. So, and you know, he'll also be here during service, so you'll get to enjoy him then. And you might want to make a decision to stay, we'll see. Because it's also our Thanksgiving potluck Sunday. Like I said, it's a lot happening. Check out the happenings table and you'll find out about it. All right, thank you. Minister's already here. Another minister. Any visiting ministers or visiting practitioners should please come forward.
We still have some homegrown ministers coming up.
Yeah, I said any.
She's not visiting.
Well, I said ministers. Get y'all up, get up here. All right, and our practitioners that did not go to Redondo Beach that are here, please come forward. You recognize them because they have their little, I don't know whether to call it a stole or a ball, or what is it? A shawl. It's a stole. Anyway, they're here for you as they are here for all of us in prayer or just to talk. So if you would please stand and connect as Reverend Wanda gives us our benediction.
So hand in hand, heart in heart, I'm realizing that each and every person here is the perfection and beauty of the one divine Spirit. We've celebrated unity in laughter and song, in prayers, and we're taking that act on the road, expressing joy everywhere we can. With people we love, with people who fell down at Ricardo's, with people in the parking lot. That light that we sang about is the light of that Christ consciousness that is flowing, living, thriving in every person here. We've been blessed to be together, and we go our way in peace, welcoming the stranger and welcoming those spaces within our own heart and consciousness that we want to enliven. And so it is. Amen.
Let's sing our peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, this begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me.
For our affirmation, please join us for cake to celebrate our birthdays. So, all right, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful